Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. First tonight, a bombshell leaked report has detailed a litany of serious allegations against Launceston councillor Danny Gibson. The Justice Department review alleging the former mayor and prominent theatre personality used his position of power to sexually harass and groom children and young people for more than a decade.
It's the question which began a public downfall for Danny Gibson.
Mayor, do you currently hold working with vulnerable people card?
Revelations, the then mayor's working with vulnerable children registration was under review. Just weeks later, he stepped down from the City of Launceston's highest profile position, citing speculation, rumours and vile attacks. Now, the allegations in black and white. A damning report uncovered by the Examiner finding Danny Gibson posed an unacceptable risk of harm to vulnerable people, including children. The review by the Justice Department details multiple allegations. Among them, Mr Gibson used his position of power as a theatre director to establish contact with youth male victims to engage in behaviours of sexual harassment, grooming and indecent assault. He's also accused of grooming and harassing a Launceston College student, the alleged misconduct dating back to 2005.
It's impossible for me to overstate how shocked and concerned we are, the City of Launceston, by the information about Councillor Danny Gibson.
Danny Gibson has never been charged over the allegations and continues to deny wrongdoing, but calls are growing for the councillor to step down.
Councillor Gibson's position on council is untenable.
The high-profile theatre personality closed his youth drama school last week, but local theatre company Encore was also implicated in the assessment. Its culture flagged by the Commission of Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse as having a widespread culture of sexual harassment and abuse towards young adult and young male members. Encore Theatre strenuously denies the claims, calling them highly defamatory. The government renewing its commitment to the safety of some of our most vulnerable.
Any allegations of this kind are very serious and very distressing. They need to be handled sensitively.
Danny Gibson has told us he's always been compliant with the legislative requirements and says he's concerned the process is being weaponised against him for political purposes. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
As Tasmanians continue to battle the rising cost of living, upgrades are about to begin at food relief facilities across the state. Lowe's and Fisher's working to meet increasing demand, ensuring everyone has access to filling and nutritious meals.
Times are tough and sometimes Tasmanians need a helping hand putting food on the table. Local charity Lowe's and Fisher's making food security its mission. Its efforts bolstered by a $2.5 million expansion.
We are building a system here which takes us from a food relief effort to a food resilience system for Tasmania.
The upgrades coming to its original Devonport facility and another in Brighton. The revamp including better freezers, cool rooms, dry stores and processing, helping keep food fresh for when and where it's needed most. Thousands more benefiting, but it's not just about quantity.
It's not always necessarily about creating large volumes of meals. It's actually about making sure that quality, good, healthy food is available.
Making sure more than 250 of its community partners can serve filling and nutritious food, including at 30 schools where Loaves and Fishes supplies free lunches. 15 more jumping on board just this month.
That means an additional 7,000 or 8,000 serves of food each week.
To meet demand, it'll also need more hands, with 30 new traineeships and apprenticeships on offer. While the non-profit welcomes all funding, it's dreaming bigger.
We're developing commercial contracts and commercial food production arrangements where we can actually, in time, become self-sufficient.
All to make sure worrying about food isn't also on our plate. Zeke Gaffney, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, Murph is back out on the road experiencing what you can see locally as part of Tourism Tasmania's Longer Days offering. Murph, where are you joining us from this week?
Yeah, well, thanks very much for asking, Kim. We're here at the base of the Western Teers at the Western Teers Distillery in Westbury. Westbury, of course, famous for the St Patrick's Day Festival and the St Patrick's Day Festival, but famous now because of this distillery, which has a big Irish flavour as well. Tim, tell us about the Irish connection.
Yes, certainly does. We triple distill our whisky out here at Westbury because that's the Irish way of doing it.
Unlike the Scottish, they only do it twice.
Yeah, only twice. We do it 3 times. Three times is a whole lot better.
Well, I'm sure a lot of Tasmanians would like to taste the best whisky around. If they get out here at the Western Teers Distillery, they'll taste just that, made here on site and in the equipment you make.
Yes, so we've got a workshop full of 30 people. We actually fabricate all this stuff and send it all over the world as well. As
your whiskies will go too, you've got a signature series. They've been matured in beautiful casks that used to have port and sherry in them. You've got a third one now.
Yeah, bourbon's just been released. It tastes very complex, very spirit-based. Actually, best out of a 3.
Sounds like you know your stuff. If you want to know about this stuff, come out and try the cellar door. It's a nice little comfy area there.
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week, ready for tastings and tours, and come out and experience what we can do.
And a lot of your product is named after iconic landmarks here too.
Yeah, all our products are named after parts on the Western Teers.
Yeah, poor old Tim here, he works 7 days a week, showing the whisky, making the whisky. He is married. Tell me something, Tim, does your wife love you still?
Yeah, she loves my stills.
I'm still going to be here a little bit later, Kim. I've been offered a bit of a tasting, so I can't say no, can I?
Oh, as if you'll enjoy every moment, I'm sure. Well, popular wildlife attractions like Bonang are welcoming thousands through the gates thanks to the arrival of cruise ship season. Carers are using it as a chance to spread their conservation message far and wide before travellers head home.
One of our state's most loved tourism attractions, full to the brim.
Cruise ship season is a big part of our calendar, and once the cruise ships come in, the buses start coming in, and that's very exciting.
Bonang welcoming hundreds more patrons over the summer period compared to last year. The majority of those interstate and international visitors.
Honestly, we were so happy to see the Tasmanian devil. Yeah. It was so cute.
The sanctuary has been full today, and I think bingo, the wombat's a bit of a draw card. Everyone goes straight for that enclosure.
But others like Dewey certainly have helped draw crowds in, showing and telling an important tool for keepers like Jono.
It's the broader message too, conservation, what's happening with the animals out in their native habitats.
Statewide, $2 million in tourism support loans is hoped to help struggling businesses rebuild. Rosebery's Mount Black Lodge benefiting from a $600,000 slice after the venue was destroyed by fire on Boxing Day in 2022. While for others, lapping up these busy months is a top priority.
Come winter, we'll be leaning a little bit more on the locals and hoping that they'll come out and engage with our people and our animals.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
The next generation of Tassie tennis talent secured a meet and greet with one of the greats, Australian former world number 4 player Jelena Dokic. The star stopping by the Hobart International this morning, giving fans a chance to grab a signature.
I had role models and heroes when I was growing up, and you just never know. So this might inspire them to take up the game, and you don't even have to fully go professional. It can inspire you to go into coaching and other roles in tennis.
I haven't really been playing tennis that much, and I really want to get good at it.
The junior player camp was just one of a few stops on Dokic's schedule today.
After a dull couple of years for the Hurricanes, the squad has quickly become the ones to watch this BBL season. The team pinning the success on player consistency and experience as they attempt to make the finals.
After a less than ideal BBL opening game, the Hurricanes have notched up 4 straight wins for the first time since 2019.
It's come out of a bit of hunger from our lacklusterness over the last few seasons.
Success hard to come by for the Purple Army over the last few years, unable to live up to lofty expectations, but that's changed this time round.
It's a monster. Oh, this is brutal from Mitch Owen. A mighty strike onto the roof.
The big boss projecting the transformation even before the season started.
I just think there's a sneaky feeling around the group though this year that success is imminent.
With a fairly unchanged lineup compared to BBL 13, the skipper pins the success on all 11 players playing their part.
I think it's a combination of consistency within our training, our preparation, consistency in players and the staff.
Players determined not to get too ahead of themselves, despite standout performances across the board.
Just been a really enjoyable and fun campaign so far. So I think the challenge now is to continue that, whether it goes good, bad or ugly.
The Canes are playing the Sydney Thunder twice this week, first interstate tomorrow, then back here at Ninja Stadium on Friday night. Halfway through the season, the squad is sitting at third on the ladder, building towards a crack at finals.
Whilst it's easy to say it's just another game of cricket, it's obviously a goal that we've set in place and something we want to really be a part of.
Overcoming a serious stress fracture in her neck, Tigers all-rounder Amy Smith is looking forward to making an impact in Friday's Governor-General's 11 match against England. It's the first senior representative game for the 20-year-old after strong performances in both the Big Bash and the WNCL.
I'm glad I've been able to put performances on the board and been selected now, so it's a nice opportunity.
She should be really proud of how she's gone with her rehab and recovery and how hard she's worked to get back.
Tigers teammate Heather Graham also in the lineup. Both played alongside each other in the recent WBBL season. Jack jumper Ruben Tangi is celebrating a major milestone. The versatile forward will be notching up his 350th NBL game tonight against the Illawarra Hawks in Wollongong. After starting his career with the New Zealand Breakers, he's had stints in Brisbane and Melbourne, where he earned the title of Most Improved Player. Tonight's game is an important one, as the side looks to bounce back from a 14-point loss to the South East Phoenix. Tip-off is at 7:30, and we'll have a recap of the game in tomorrow night's bulletin. The Aussies are well and truly on the map, with Australian young gun Maya Joint taking on Serbian Olga Danilovic 6-2, 6-3 during day 2 of the Hobart International, the match leaving her current ranking at 118th.
It was a bit windy, but I think I handled it pretty well.
The USA's Sophia Kenin also securing a win over New Zealand's Lulu Sun. Daria Seville will face off against third seed Amanda Anisimova in the first night session tonight. And that's all I have in sport, Kim.
OK, thanks Lily. We'll see you again tomorrow. Well, Peter Murphy is out on location and he joins us after the break with the weather forecast.
Hello and welcome back to the Western Teers Distillery here in Westbury, where we've been talking all things whisky, and let me say it's been a very spirited conversation and just one of the many things you can do during the longer days of summer, which are with us right now, so get a hurry along. Plenty of things happening over the next couple of months. We've got lots of events, music festivals, markets large and small. Stay at a caravan park, maybe a farm stay, a hotel or a motel, and it won't really matter what the weather is like. What matters though is what the weather was like today. Let's see what happens. And Hobart today reached 18 degrees. Launceston's 25 was the warmest around the state, Devonport 20 and Burnie 19. Some temperatures today up to 6 degrees below average. Ouse reached 22, Friendly Beaches, Grove and the Islands all 21, Strawn and Lowhead 20, St Helens and Lyre-Weenie 18 degrees. Looking at the cloud did all move off through to the east today after the Bay of Fires recorded 22 millimetres to 9 a.m. Clear skies to finish the day across the state. There is a thick band of cloud streaming off from the New South Wales coast, with more along with the next cold front to the west of Tasmania. Tomorrow the high seems to have barely moved, still holding over our region as the front passes over the bight. East to southeasterly winds tomorrow at 20 knots over the north, variable winds in the south. They will tend northerly later in the day and increase to 30 knots. So we have a strong wind warning. That's for waters from Sandy Cape to Stanley and from Wineglass Bay to Southeast Cape. Checking out the forecast for tomorrow, Hobart a sunny day, up to 24 degrees, same for Gibson, 27 the top in Bothwell. 25 the high for Launceston and Cressy with fine weather. A sunny day for the Devonport Cup, a comfortable 20 degrees. Partly cloudy in Burnie, 20 as well. Strawn 23 and sunny, and the same for Curry on King Island. To the east, 21 in St Helens, a sunny day. Swansea 23, fine for Orford and 21. Now, on to Thursday, mainly fine, just the chance of a light shower in the north. Showers developing over the north on Friday, extending elsewhere during the day. And on Saturday, we kick off the weekend with a shower over most areas and possible thunderstorms moving through. Further north tomorrow, 29 and sunny in Perth. A warm one again in Adelaide and Melbourne. Showers in Sydney, 24 the top there, and a possible shower in Brisbane, and maybe a storm for Darwin. And current conditions in Westbury, it's 19 degrees, but feels more like about 30. I don't know what's making me so warm, Kim, but it's pretty warm here at the moment, and it's going to be warm for the next couple of months. If you're looking for something to do and don't have an idea of how to get there, go on the line and check out Discover Tasmania/Longer Days, or pop into a tourist information centre and pick up a brochure. Lots of good reading. Kim, I've been telling plenty of whiskey jokes here today, and I've got to tell you, they were really neat.
Oh dear, I thought I'd got away without any. Thank you, Murph. See you back in the studio tomorrow. That is all your news for now. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night, everyone.